Hey, what's going on, English acquirers? Dale here, Nativlo, and I'm here to help you with your English using the CI method, comprehensible input. So hopefully you're having a great day, and now we're going to just go quickly into 3 things that you absolutely need to know when learning English. And FYI, meaning for your information, just as a very important side note, you shouldn't learn, obviously if you're on this channel anyway, you probably know this, but if you are new, you shouldn't be using the learning methods, so memorization, translation, or grammar. You should be using something called the CI method. This is what I call it, the CI method, and this is essentially comprehensible input. There are 3 things you need to know, and I'm going to talk about them now, but just remember that there's two ways of learning. There's learning, well, 2 ways of learning. One is actually the learning, which is very bad, very dangerous for your progress. And this is translation, grammar, especially, studying grammar rules and memorization and translation. But the other one is called acquisition, okay? Acquisition is the actual method, but I call it the CI method. I just think it sounds way cooler. Well, I mean, acquisition sounds okay, but the CI method, I think, is just a bit cooler. Anyway, those are the 2 methods, and we want to use this. This is how you learn your native language, your first language, so Polish, Spanish, French, German, Arabic, whatever. This is how you learnt. You didn't study, you didn't memorize, you just acquired. So to acquire, acquisition, you acquired, and you did it very naturally without having to think. Anyway, so now we're going to go into those 3 things that you absolutely need to know. If you're not interested in acquisition and you love grammar and you love studying rules, please leave this video now. This is not going to help you, and I cannot help people that believe grammar is the answer. This is for people, you guys watching, who are actually serious about English, who actually want to find a method that actually works, and that is not grammar. Okay, so let's begin. So the first thing you need to know is obviously comprehensible input. So comprehensible input is exactly what you're getting from me right now. It can be in many different forms, but stories are the best way to actually acquire. Also, what you're getting now is a fantastic way. If you're interested in what I'm saying and you're trying to understand what I'm saying and I'm interesting, that's great comprehensible input. But stories are the best way. So stories and, interesting things about somebody, usually a person or people, multiple people or events or, etc., etc. Usually stories are the most powerful way. I believe stories are the best, and a lot of research has shown, that stories are the most powerful way. Good example, if I say to you, Sarah ran, scared, monster, house, how quickly did your brain, using those words, how quickly did your brain create a story? Boom. Stories are the most powerful way to acquire, okay? Remember, to acquire, not to learn, to acquire. So you want to do that very naturally, very subconsciously. Anyway, that's comprehensible input, and long story short, the CI method is basically the comprehensible input method, and that's what I teach, or that's what I coach, I preach, okay? I sort of express and I preach. But yeah, so comprehensible input just means input, listening and reading and watching that you understand the message of. So you understand, comprehensible means to understand, to comprehend the input. So to understand the person speaking, basically. It's that simple. Number 2, or the second thing you need to absolutely know, is comprehensible input +1. Okay, so +1 is just a little bit above. It's still comprehensible input. You understand the message, you are engaged, you need to enjoy, you need to be interested. Stories are the most powerful way to do that, of course, like I said just a second ago. But now we want to have that +1. And what does that mean, Dale? Well, logically, it's exactly what you probably assumed, what you probably guessed. It's just a little bit above comprehensible. So comprehensible is really easy to understand, basically 100%. +1 is just a little bit harder, a little bit more difficult than what you're used to. And this is the fastest way for you to get to fluency. Combining the first and second point, those two, CI and CI +1, you will make incredible progress by doing this, my friend. You cannot speak natively or speak fluently or even at a conversational level without getting it in first, okay? Please remember this, that is so important. You cannot just practice your way to fluency on its own, just practicing by writing and speaking. Yes, that's important to practice later. Not now, later in a few months from now. Once you've got, firstly, you've got the input, okay? You have to get the input first and then do the practicing, the output practice, okay? Make sense? Cool. So that's CI plus CI and then CI +1. And then the third thing, and also, by the way, with the CI +1, make sure that it's around, I forgot to say, make sure it's around about 90 to 98% is pretty perfect. 95% would be absolutely perfect as, CI +1. Okay, cool. Then the third section, or the third part you need to know and you need to apply, you need to include, you need to use in your CI journey is something called the affective filter. So you can get all the CI +1, but if you have a closed affective filter, you ain't learning any language, you ain't learning any English. You need to have an open or lessened or reduced or basically an open affective filter. So the affective filter is like it either blocks or lets in the language, okay? It's just really a survival mechanism. It's like, if someone says you're in class, years ago, you're in class, the teacher, the asshole teacher goes, hey, answer the question. And then you're like, oh shit. And you can't even remember your own name. And that is because your affective filter has just blocked itself. You need to open up. And the best way, as you can probably imagine now, is by being in a relaxed, like hopefully in this video here, you're quite relaxed and chill, man. You're relaxed, you're chilling. That is the perfect place. So YouTube is perfect basically for getting in tons of CI and CI +1 because it's CI +1. As long as you find the right materials, which you may need help from someone to actually find you the materials. But as long as you've got the right materials, the third one is there as well because you are relaxed, you're open, and you're letting the language in. So long story short, you need to find those materials, CI +1, but also have your affective filter nice and open, and that will happen through being relaxed, stress-free, in a nice stress-free environment. So basically at home watching this, you right now watching this video, you have got all three ticked, okay? It's nice to know the theory, but obviously you still need to know more, and that comes down to having the right materials, because you have your affective filter that is slightly open now, okay? But you also need to actually have the right materials. So I've told you those three things. That is absolutely, I've given it all for free. I've given you everything you need to know. That is literally it, my friend. But there is more. You need to have the right materials. You need to keep training your mindset, your beliefs, your habits. And I have created, or I'm in the process of creating, my Fluent 180 course system that has a whole bundle of courses, so a whole collection of courses together. The Fluent 180 system is the core course program, the whole 180-day step-by-step video program. We also have the Storytime 180, again, stories that you get over 180 days, all provided for you. It's going to include 9,000 new words. The next course is going to be the Native Unlocked, and this is where you are going to understand native content, and we're going to train you to the native level. You don't have to ever use subtitles again. That's going to be very, very exciting. And then the third course that we have, or the fourth, sorry, Fluent 180, Storytime, Native Unlocked, and then the fourth one is called the 30-Day Fluency. This is where we're going to train the 7 pillars. If you don't know what that means, it's all good. I'll explain in a second. But the 7 pillars is vital for your fluency. And then we're obviously going to train your British accent, and we're also going to reduce your native accent as well, making you sound a bit more British and getting your mouth sounds really, really strong. Yeah, really strong. So there's 5 courses all within one. And I would love it if you went over and just, check out a video that I've put together that is going to explain everything you have seen in this video, talking about the CI method, plus 6 beliefs or myths that are stopping your mind from actually allowing the language in fully, as well as the absolute 180-day step-by-step process to help you get to fluency. So whether or not you join our paid program with all those 5 courses or you don't, the video that I'm about to take you to will absolutely help you on your own from home be able to start, acquiring using the CI method, and ultimately helping you getting quicker, faster progress and getting closer to obviously fluency, full expressive fluency in English. Either way, definitely at least go over and watch the video. So I'm going to pin it down below and in the description. Go watch that video right now. I promise you will love it. Okay, and you're going to take a lot of awesome stuff away. With that said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember those 3 things. We've got CI +1. Keep getting in those stories. Keep watching these types of videos. Go into the description, go through the link somewhere here, and you will watch that free training or free lesson, really in-depth lesson that's going to save you years of struggle. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one.